We've got some crazy things developing right now in regards to season 2 of Marvel Rivals, which is just a week away from launching at this point in time. But over on X, leakers have discovered what they believe to be season two's greeting message. And needless to say, this thing is jam packed with teasers as well as hints to what new characters we can expect to see coming in season 2. I'm going to have links to all of the sources that I used down in the description. Be sure to go and check them out. But today I'm going to dive into this greeting message here and break down what it could possibly mean for season 2 and beyond. This whole entire message here is really a cryptic word salad, and I don't want to read the entire thing out for the sake of time here. Again, go and check the link down in the description if you want to read this for yourself. But let's go ahead and dive into it here, because the entire message starts off with a huge nod to the Krakoan era, calling it legendary. If you're not up to date on your X-Men lore, here's the quick and dirty version of what the Krakoan era is. Apparently, the Krakoan era started in the House of X and Powers of X, where mutants led by Charles Xavier and Magneto turned the living island of Krakoa into their own sovereign nation. But then the message gets specific, mentioning Charles and Eric, aka Professor X and Magneto, standing together watching fireworks, which is a direct pull from the very end of House of X. And it was a quiet, emotional moment symbolizing mutant unity. And this is kind of pointing us towards season 2 leaning hard into the Krakoan storyline, which means we could possibly be looking at members of the X-Men making their way into Marvel Rivals for the next few seasons here. And next we have a direct reference to Emma Frost, with the message saying Emma Frost's telepathic projections seemed to materialize right before our eyes, which is a callback to the Hellfire Gala, which was a massive event in the Krakoan era where the mutants were showing off their powers and all of their style. And Emma was one of the masterminds behind the entire event. This practically makes Emma a lock for season 2 if this message is real. Why else would they draw attention to her in such a big way? Previously, I had anticipated Blade and Ultron coming into the game, but again, with this direct reference to Emma Frost, as well as the fact that she's been leaked and there's been references to her inside of season 1, I'm gonna put her at the top of my list here. If she's not in season 2, I will be shocked, and you can almost guarantee a season 3 release. But that's not all that we get inside of this message, because then it goes on to talk about the transformation of Mars into Uriko, and the message calls this out as a standout moment from the Hellfire Gala. This is apparently straight from Planet-Size X-Men, and in that story, mutants flexed their powers on a cosmic scale, terraforming Mars into a new home for Uriko. This could actually be a massive hint here for the future of Marvel Rivals, and really opens the door for them to start bringing in lesser known mutants from Uriko. On top of that, we actually already have a mutant from there in the game, Storm, but again, this slight nod to this area here could also be opening up the door to lesser known mutants such as Bay the Blood Moon or Iska the Unbeaten. If I'm not mistaken, Marvel Rivals did say they wanted to throw in some more surprise characters into the mix here, so it's not impossible to see something like that show up in the game, but I really would anticipate that being a few seasons down the line. After that, though, the message gets a bit dark and mentions the fall of Krakoa at the hands of a mechanical menace. Now, inside of the comics, Krakoa's downfall came during the Fall of X storyline, where Orcus, an anti-mutant group with advanced technology, launched a devastating attack. XOX Leaks over on X goes into a whole theory how this could possibly be pointing towards Nimrod, who is another character that has previously been leaked. If a character such as Nimrod were to come inside of season 2, it would be coming completely out of left field. I don't think anybody would see that coming, which almost makes it that much juicier of a theory. However, there is a bit of a twist here, because the message calls it a mechanical menace and ties it to a fan favorite supervillain, which is where Ultron enters the scene, Marvel's ultimate robotic bad guy. He's also been heavily rumored to be showing up in season 2, so honestly, I anticipate it being Ultron. However, anything could happen at this point in time. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I have a video breaking down all of Ultron's abilities if you want to go and check that out. But I also want to point out that this is a leak of the supposed message and should entirely be taken with a grain of salt. However, the timing does kind of line up because we are only 7 days away from the launch of Marvel Rivals Season 2. And honestly, I anticipate the marketing campaign to start up very soon. Keep an eye out on the channel because we'll be breaking down any information that drops. But basically, in summary here, Emma Frost was mentioned directly, which is making me lean heavily towards her coming inside of season 2. And then the Mechanical Menace being tied to a fan favorite supervillain really only point me in one direction, which is Ultron. Again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But that's all I wanted to break down today. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.